for IVSA to be involved in the DEI working group. So IVS had a discussion that they want to start working on DEI goals, so diversity, equity, inclusivity. And then I mentioned that we have our event strategy task force, which previously used to be event inclusivity task force, and that we as IVSA, as student organization, actually already have identified quite some working points and projects which govern to DEI. And therefore, they were very keen and very interested in hearing more of our perspective. So I took part in their breakout session, which had to do with DEI, and we shared perspectives, and they would love for IVSA to be included in this. So this is a discussion to be taken forward starting from September 1st. And then I strengthened links with the other people and organizations present in the GA. So the key takeaways from the whole meeting, from the long sessions, is that there is definitely a need to bridge the gap between students and residents, but also between residents and specialists. And in order to do so, there should be future collaborations, and we should be focusing on mutual points of connection and also mutual focal points of interest to ensure that we have good possibilities and opportunities for students. There is interest for IVSA to take a leading role actually in the DEI working group for EBBS and the internship database of IVSA. So we had a discussion, and the European colleges were actually asking me questions like, how does this internship database work? Which are the possibility for us to add resident positions or student positions? And in particular, I also discussed possibility of IVSA involvement with the Congress. So as mentioned before, there will be some keynotes, some speaking sessions, workshops, and volunteer involvement. So the other stakeholder networking that I did, considering that EBBS was not the only association present at the GA, I worked with FEE, I just followed up on some projects, they also gave me some ideas about future projects. The same goes for the European College of Laboratory Animal Medicine. They actually gave us an internship opportunity, which is currently discussed with scoping, so Standing Committee on Veterinary Education, as well as your region. And then there was the College of Animal Welfare and Behavior. They were super impressed by the work that the Standing Committee on Animal Welfare does, and they want to take that forward. However, they said they would reach out to us in September once the new chairs and everything has been determined. But this would be an amazing opportunity also to include more students from your region in the animal welfare field. And then there was the interest of the European colleges in the internship database. So this is the Congress where IVSA will be present. The attendance has been confirmed. And if you are in Europe, you might be able to combine it with the Warszawa and Piekawa Euro Congress. So then I would kindly like to ask you to fill out this survey. You can scan the QR code. It's actually particularly for European students, but everyone is welcome to fill it, considering that this survey will lead us to input for the presentation that IVSA will be giving during the Congress. So we are talking about European veterinary specialists, but also how we as students see things. For example, did you know what you started when you entered into the veterinary school? Were your expectations realistic? Have they changed over time? And is there something that you wish you really knew before you started? It's a very short survey, it will take you 2 minutes. It would be great if you can fill it out. Thank you so much. So yeah, I think that is all for this presentation. Overall, it was a very nice session. The trip to Zagreb was a little bit stressful. I also had an accident, so I was a bit, where should I say it? I had a trauma on my knee, so that was less fortunate, but nevertheless, the event was amazing. I had some really good talks, and well, most of it will be happening in the next term. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for coming to the General Assembly. Do we have any questions? Ashley.
Ashley Harris, IVSA Australia, bidding number 83. Thank you for your presentation. Would it be possible to add Australia to the list of countries? Thank you.
Bilateral University School bidding number 18. It's very first thing so fast, I shouldn't. So like I said before, the survey is actually tailored for Europe region, but I had discussions with the IVSA and they said that it actually doesn't really matter. They would like to hear also perspectives from students from abroad. So you can just fill a country, like take the first country and then it will be okay for me. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Do we have more questions? Felix. No, we don't want.
Dr. Bingo got it.
Exactly.
Felix Metzger, Germany, bidding number 69. Thank you for the presentation. I really have received the ABS interest, especially the internship database, because it's amazing. And my question would be the volunteer program for the Congress. This would be specifically for the upcoming EBS overall Congress. Were there any talks about doing the same, for example, for the congresses and events of the specific colleges themselves?
Viola Tarina Nepal Service School bidding number 18. Thank you so much, previous speaker, for the question. Yes. So EBVS actually really enjoyed having student volunteers during our last conference. That's why they now ask, like, hi, it's in line with like in Poland, can we have IVSA students? We went with IVSA Krakow and IVSA Poland initially because, well, they will be located at the venue, so to say. EBVS will cover their registration, by the way, I forgot to mention. So they get complimentary registration, and also EBVS will be able to like support them for train tickets or bus tickets, etc., but not flights. For other congresses, we first want to establish like a broader collaboration with EBVS, and then EBVS already mentioned towards their colleges like, hey, IVSA is here. It was actually good to have that presentation because a lot of colleges came to me afterwards and they said, oh, I didn't know about IVSA, but it would be amazing if we can have like some student, resident or student specialist collaborations. So I for sure like foresee like possibility for future involvement in their conferences because yes, every single college has their own events. And it would be really, really great if we can have representation for ICLAM, so the Laboratory Animal Medicine College. There will already be like, the internships, and they also will invite us to their events. So that would be great. Thank you.
Awesome. So we have more events coming up for everyone. All right. Do we have any more questions? Seeing none, thank you again once more. All right. Next agenda point, I believe, is the WVA Congress. Yes, it is WVA Congress.
I'm going to get to the Expo meeting number 3, and it's getting exciting. I'll show you everything that happened and what we did at the very first conference of the World Veterinary Association. And I was not attending alone. I was attending with Bertina, current Asian Pacific Regional Representative, as she mentioned, part of the objectives of the project that she handled with GUA. So the event happened in Tokyo, Japan. It happened from the 21st to the 24th of April. And we have attended, well, Bertina was invited especially for the justice sessions. I could manage, since we agreed, like, we knew about her participation a long time ago, we could have her also joining me in different events of the Congress itself. So we joined together the GA, the Congress, and also some panel discussions I will show you now. So, but first, what is WVA? WVA is the World Veterinary Association. As you might know, we had the president here, the opening ceremony, giving us a lecture. It's a global organization that represents more than 500,000 members, and of course, unites and represents the global veterinary profession. And what do we do with WVA? First, we invite each other to our events. That's the first thing. Then for the SEBA grants, which is a project that we give grants for internships to students that are sponsored by SEBA, those internships are handled with a WBA laureate, which means that we have this network with WBA and they help us arranging the internships. I've talked many times about the working groups, that this time we opened it for to members, and this conference was key because in their council meeting, they presented the idea and they approved it and they liked it, so everything was during this congress. That's why it was very amazing and very successful. Also, we have an IVSA member at the Essential Veterinary Medicine Project, which is a project that the WBA has to create essential veterinary medicine, a list of essential veterinary medicines for livestock animals and aquatic animals. And long time ago, like I don't remember which one of the videos, already 2 months ago, we opened a call, we selected a member. She's a Veterinarian from IVSA India, and she was also invited to the WBA Congress in Tokyo. What did we achieve during the Congress? So as I said, the working group's idea was officially presented and accepted, and many members of the council meeting really liked the idea of having new members joining their working groups. During this event, we also had a meeting with the GUA Director General, which was very successful for us to secure information funding for GUA General Session, which I will present later. Of course, we started an IVSA WBA relationship. We have participated in their 3 panels: One Health, Animal Welfare, Veterinary Education. We met current partners, and also members of IVSA Asia Pacific participated as volunteers, as Brittany also mentioned. So here it's a picture of a dinner the council committee had, and we were just like imposters, and they invited us. So we were really happy. We are here. So it was really nice welcoming for Rutina to meet everyone before starting the Congress. And there's like Jan, you should know him, and a lot of concealers from WBA. So okay, the first day was the General Assembly. I gave a presentation on IVSA activities and everything related to IVSA, as usual during the General Assembly. And here we are with Bertina, that's me, that's Kritika, our representative in the Essential Veterinary Medicine Project. And at that time, President-elect, and President-elect. But now John is immediate past president, Dr. Isao is current president, and Dr. Olatunji is the president-elect. So that's a nice picture. And then the next day we had the One Health Summit. I was participating there, so here you can see some of the panelists, including the GUA Director General. And then when after the panel, we went to walk through the exhibition hall. We met her, I think her name, I don't remember, but she told me her name, and I remember from emails because she was the one we were talking to during the Taiwan Congress. And we're like, oh yeah, we are IVSA. Oh, you're the one who we're talking to. We just took a picture to have this moment, and I introduced her to Bertina. And we talked about potential collaboration with you, but hopefully next year will be possible. Then for the animal welfare seminar, last year we had the WBA Student of the Year award, who was a student from Nigeria. But unfortunately, given visa issues, he couldn't attend. So they invited him to the Congress in Japan. And he participated as a student in the animal welfare panel, so just added some pictures of him participating. It was so nice to meet him and to see him taking advantage of the prize that he won and he couldn't take advantage of before. And then we had, no, that's not animal welfare, that should be veterinary education, okay? So then there was the roundtable on health education in the veterinary education seminar. Both Bertina and I participated, and WBA really liked that proposal because they were trying to have panelists from different regions to assess how is One Health education in different regions, and we both were from different regions. So they had students from the Americas and Asia, and you can see some of the consultants that were panelists. And at the end, we signed this IVSA. their call to action on One Health education, which basically is its goal is to make One Health a key part of veterinary education and prepare veterinarians to work across different sectors. So basically, this document is made by WVA, supported by different organizations. One of them is WVA, just to realize how important is One Health as a key part of the veterinary education. And then, of course, we had during the same day of Getting a Welfare webinar, actually during the same time, the Gen Z session. I just put some pictures that I took over Tina. I was running through 2 rooms to take pictures of Getting a Welfare for Tina. But she did amazing, and everyone was very happy with her participation. And then some pictures of the networking we did, of course, with the stakeholders. Here you can see, as Shan said, at the time we didn't know, but Corinne was our president, and next was our president, and also a representative from Inawa. They are part of the podcast that we have will be published soon about animal welfare. Annette and Maya, I think we could meet her during one of the touristic activities. I was here in the Mexico because the next congress is going to be in Mexico, so of course they're going to take pictures and invite me. But while I was here, Megdi was telling me that he was his professor, so maybe more Americans know him. But I was just here with the Mexican OC of the next congress. We, after our meeting, of course, we took a picture with DG to show you that we really had a meeting with her. Dr. Deborah, we will meet him, of course, representing Osaba and Guapma, some WB people, Limon Yon, and of course, all the volunteers that participated, that are really happy to, we could have many volunteers participating. We coordinated everything in a very short time, and Bertina and IVSA Japan managed to have everything done. That's me and Bertina. And something very funny, it's course in Mexico, so they had to bring mariachis to Tokyo. So yeah, mariachis in Tokyo. And yeah, Litika to show you. I'm really happy that she's there, and she showed that a regular member, maybe that was not involved directly in IVSA level, can also have those kind of opportunities. So I'm really happy that she's there. She's gonna be there for 1 more year. That's very cute. So cute. And thank you. I want to thank also, this picture is very special for me because Yuna, is not here, but Akimi take their 2-3 hours of their day to show me around Tokyo. So I'm really grateful about that. And yeah, thank you for everything.
Thank you for that presentation. Before I ask for questions, I think we'll also, there's another person present here we should give a shout out to if people recognize him. That's the one. John, the IVSA Indonesia delegate. All right, do we have questions about the WVA Congress? Seeing none, thank you very much, Tammy, for the wonderful report. All right, the next point on the agenda is the Purina Pre-Eurobird Symposium, and that I believe is Irene.
Irene Poligero, IVSA Green Year 21. Hello again, everyone. So here's another event. One of the events I attended. We have IVSA representing the student community, and it happened in Rhodes, Greece, from Purina program. So every springtime, the European Society of Comparative Gastroenterology is organizing a symposium based on the microbiome of animals, how they can help with all the techniques, and it's a more scientific event. And because of that, Purina before it every year organizes the pre-Eurobird Symposium, and this time it was in Greece, so they invited me because we've been working with them for the whole year on behalf of IVSA Europe for our partnership. So it was part of lectures and panel discussion. It was only 1-day event, so there was no presentation of IVSA. It was more a networking activity from Purina. And I had the chance to talk to them about what we learned about gastroenterology in our universities. They gave me input on what things are more important. They had many cases that presented. so information that for students. And what is more important, I think, is that I had the chance to meet representatives from all of the countries where Purina is active. So for example, before this event, I was in the symposium in Latvia, where local representatives of IVSA Romania asked my help to get in contact with the local chapters of Purina Romania, and now they're in discussions, they have already a meeting, and they're about to have a partnership together. So this was the win of this event, that we get to secure a sponsor for one of our members association. And it is important, I think, to meet in person with those people, because they're always more than happy to help and listen to us. And in-person communication is what facilitates collaboration even better. So I hope the best for the rest of the MOs that need help in building bridges with partners. Feel free to talk to your presidents, regional rep from each region, because we're all here to help you. And a small talk in the event is what now gave one of our most new sponsors that will enable them to do more activities. So you might be the next MO that benefits from something like that. So please feel free to talk to us about your needs. That's why this kind of partnership is important. It's important for them, for us to be there, to talk about our community, to show them how big our community is and how much we can help them and how much we need their help, and we deserve it because of being active and there in the community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the wonderful update. Do we have any questions for the Purina Europe Symposium? Seeing none, we move on to the next agenda point, and that is going to be the MOA General Assembly, and that is Tammy.
Hello everyone, it's me again. I'm in the IVSA X Committee number 3. Now I'll show you after WBA Congress. It was the 93rd General Session of GUA. I'm not sure what I did. Again, I didn't attend alone. I attended with Ika, our chair of the Standing Committee of One Health. I'll show you what we did there. So it happened in Paris, France, from the 18th of May till the 22nd. And we were part of the general session plus a panel discussion. So what is GUA? GUA, first you saw our partner here also during the first days. It's a global authority on animal health and represents 183 member countries and territories, which are basically their members. What did we do with GUA? Well, first we attended their general session, and they're also invited to our events, as you can see. This term, we had collaboration with different offices of GUA. First, regional collaboration, which is something that I would really highlight, as you can see, with Asia Pacific, and as I also mentioned, with the Americas. We also had the Animal Income blog, which is a blog where we talk about investing in animal health. We got the opportunity to contribute to this blog, and we had 5 IVSA members participating, 1 per region. 4 of them were from the Scott team, so ICA's team, and I'm really happy that we got different members participating. And also we had the Inspire Initiative survey, which is a survey that we made together with GUA to assess what the students feel like, if the students feel that their current education makes them prepared or makes them feel prepared for the future and for their career. And also we talk about more inclusion of the students in the general sessions here, and also with the GUA DG during WBA Congress with Bertina. And what did we achieve in this event? So of course, more connection with regional offices. We were able to talk with all the regional offices to establish different projects per region. And we connected with different committees of GUA, like WAHI's, One Health Publications team, which is under Animal Ecology, is under Publications team, and Capacity Building team, which is the team for which the ones that we created survey with, and also the ones that invited us to participate in the panel. And of course, we connected with all amazing members that are now working in GUA, and I will show you some nice pictures. So the general session, this is Ika and me with GUA DG. Some of the pictures we took, this is the beginning of the general session on the 18th, and this is the last picture we took. So you can see Ika nicely dressed with her Indian dress. So some pictures of the general session. We were there every day and really enjoyed every session. And then we had the panel discussion. This is basically the advertisement of the panel discussion, which was basically capacity, collaboration, and capital, veterinary services for the future by leveraging 20 years of PBS insights. And this happened on the 19th of May. And here are some pictures of the panel discussion. Here, one of the main objectives were to talk about the results of the survey, but also provide a student perspective on everything on how the veterinary services and education should change or are evolving. So you can see some of the panelists here, picture afterwards. Then we got invited to the USDA reception. So USDA is the US Department of Agriculture, and they organized a reception celebrating their 250th anniversary of their independence. So we got invited, and we met different representatives, and we'll show you a picture. So here we are, and here's Francois, who is a part of BUA. He's Dr. Conrad Estrada. It's funny because he is Peruvian, but he's working in the US, so we had to connect with him. And he's Dr. Alan, who is the current representative of the US for BUA. And also it was his first event, so it was like the welcoming for him. And yeah, then we had to take a picture. And then for stakeholder networking, they are part of the capacity building department. Both of them were IVSA members. And they were telling us that they were friends since they met in IVSA till now. She is Elise, and this picture is especially special for me because back in 2023, one IVSA, when I was America's regional rep, when IVSA opened a call for 5 IVSA members to go and attend the BUA general session. I attended as one of the representatives of IVSA. And at that time, I met Elise. And I was looking so hard for her, and when we found her, I told her, "Hi, Elise, I'm telling you, met me 3 years ago. Now I'm obviously president." It was really, really funny, and I introduced Ika to her. Then she's Dr. Casey from CDC. Ika was her contact for projects with the San Incubating One Health. Here we are with Tulani. We work with her for the Animal Eco blog. He is Stefan and Miguel Angel. They really, really helped us to get the accommodation funding for us because it was very expensive. And he is Dr. Francisco D'Alessio and Lucia from the America's Regional Office, both Argentinian. Now this is really nice. This is Mariana Delgado. She's one of the founders of IVSA Peru. Now she works in BUA, and it's the first time that we actually met. And this is Ika with Indians working in BUA. And this is me with Peruvians working in BUA. So those are two nice pictures that we really wanted to take. And yeah, well, again, we met also with WVA. They had a booth, and we were close to their, talking a lot with them. And also we met with MV. And as you might know, in this event, we met with Dr. Arcangelo Gentile to talk about our MOU that now is a reality. So that event was really, really successful. And thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation on the BUA General Assembly. Do we have any questions? Naveen?
Okay, Naveen Joseph Vincent, IVSA, Hungary, meeting number 2. I just want to clarify what exactly is PBS and what we able to contribute to it in any way?
Dominator IVSA activity number 3, PBS is Pathway of Veterinary Services. So it's something, it's a project of the capacity building department that they were celebrating because they are creating on how the veterinary services in general, medical education, clinics, and everything should be improving and evolving. So that's PBS.
Okay, do we have any other questions? Ika?
Ika this side, IVSA India, meeting number 30. I'm sorry for that. I had a comment. So Tammy and I took a lot of efforts meeting the regional reps of the offices and even all the committees, and we really discussed a lot of projects, and we will try our best to hand it over to the next president and the chair of Standing Committee on One Health to take these projects forward, the discussions forward, and I really encourage the next team to coordinate more with BUA because they're really nice and we will get a lot of more opportunities with them. So yeah, thank you.
All right, do you have any other questions? Felix?
Felix Metzger, IVSA Germany, meeting number 69. I would like to know, given just talk about like projects and ongoing projects in the future, on how companies collaborating even more with work and in general, is there still a project on the table about good news about animal health in the world that was discussed last year, or is still some talks ongoing? Like just as a reminder, the idea was given that we receive a lot of negative news all around the world, and also about animal health, that there could be like some Instagram activity or in general social media about good news.
Something related to exhibit number 3. So that's something we can talk with the communications department. We didn't talk that much because you know that for the last years and our communication with WA was not the best. Still, you established since the previous speaker established our communication. So now we got very overwhelmed with the projects we currently had. We were very happy that we got invited to Cuba, in Geneva, and with the projects we had with them. But that's something that we can take note to communicate to the communications department and ask trust for support before the end of the tournaments.
Okay, do we have any other questions? Ika?
Ika Desai, IVSA India, meeting number 13, to address the previous speaker. We did have this conversation briefly because the previous speaker let me know about this, and also mentioned that it would have been a good opportunity and it would have been really nice to see the good news around the world. So this has been briefly discussed, but I think we can let the next team continue more about it as well.
Okay, awesome. Do we have any other questions? Seeing none, thank you very much once again, and we move on to the next agenda point. The next point on the agenda is the 2090 AEE general session that is also Tammy.
Exhibit number 3. It's me again. So now after I'll show you I went to Barcelona directly for the EVE general session. And let me show you everything that happened there. So I already told you it happened in Barcelona, Spain. I've attended internal meetings of them, their GA, and also panel discussions. It happened from the 26th to the 29th of May. Something, I don't remember if I added it, but I would like to mention it, is that this event and their invitation, official invitation came around in January. And we already had the budget approved, and I haven't budgeted for this event, so I really worked hard for them to pay for everything, and they paid for everything. Basically, they just paid for my flight from Paris to Barcelona and my flight from Barcelona to Ibiza and accommodation. So that was really, really great, and IB was really happy for not spending IB's money. What is EVE? Yesterday we had a presentation. EVE is the European Association of Establishments for Veterinary Education. In simple words, it's this European association that is dedicated to ensuring high standards in veterinary education through evaluation and accreditation. So they go visit the schools, evaluate their curriculum and everything, and they give the accreditation ensuring their high quality standards. What do we do in EVE? So we attend each other's events. As you can see, Pierre was online giving a presentation yesterday. We also have the students' visitations that we'll talk at the end, and I hope I can do it really, really fast. And as I mentioned many times, we're starting a pilot project of having IVC representatives in their committee, so let's see how it goes. Hopefully we'll continue forever and ever. So their internal meetings, this is something really, really internal, just the office. There are composed of 5-6 people. I've also attended their COVID meeting for veterinary education, coordinators meeting, and also the EXCO meeting. So here are some pictures. I also gave a presentation about IVSA, but this is the EXCO. And I also attended for 2 days, 26 and 27, their internal meetings. And then on the 28th, here is their General Assembly. And also unofficially, I was with Bianca. She's a student from Barcelona. She was invited by her university, but she's project manager of IVSA Europe, so it was really, really good to have her there and listening to everything that I was talking with Eve. So you can see here the Eve office plus Pierre and Dr. Tibor, who is vice president of Eve, and I got to learn that he is Rebecca's and Navin's professor, and he knows all of my IVSA Hungary friends, so that was really good to talk about. And I'm here with Bianca. And also, Dr. Olatunji, president-elect of WBA, was attending. We took a picture, and we sent Rebecca videos for IVSA for the Instagram account. And I'm here with Bianca and Philip, who is from Equa, and we're talking a lot about Felix and how Felix is enthusiastic and everything. So we want to see the picture. And then the next day we had the educational day. First, this picture that I met with, of course, Purina Proplan Europe and Purina Institute. And I met with Marianne, who you saw giving a presentation the last days. But as Marianne said, she's a business member, so she's always happy to talk to us, and I was really happy to meet her. And during the educational day, I was invited to chair two panel discussions, consecutive panel discussions. So that was really good, not for me, but for IVSA, that they are trusting on us for such responsibility. So that was me here introducing the panel discussion, and this is one of the panel discussions that happened during the morning. Here are more pictures with me and some of the panelists, and this is me with Marianne. She was really happy to meet IVSA, not just me, but also Bianca there. And then that's all with my attendance to UGA. But I also wanted to take the time and your attention to talk about the visitations, which is something really, really important and that we have to continue promoting. So as I said, IVS goes to universities with a group of experts to evaluate universities' curriculum, etc., and decide if they give them the accreditation or not. But one of the experts, as Pierre said, is a student. So unfortunately, there are not many applications from students. There are a lot from Turkey, but not from other countries, and they cannot send the Turkish students to the Turkish universities. So they need more students, and this is an amazing opportunity. So what is in for you to be part of student visitation? Of course, you represent student perspective because you are there to give your opinion on how their education, their curricula is. So your opinion really, really matters. You gain international experience. I got to know from one of the students that went to visitations that you sit with deans and everything, so it's really, really important for you. Unfortunately, that's just for Europeans. So yeah, I was already sad I cannot apply. So you learn from experience, academics, and expand your professional knowledge, and you earn 2 ECTS credits for completing a full visitation. And if you are eligible, what do you have to do to be eligible? You have to be in your pre-final or final year as a veterinary student. You have to be from an EVE accredited veterinary school. Most of the European schools are accredited, but in case not, convince university for it. But in case your university is accredited, just please apply. You have to have good English skills and passionate about veterinary education. And then I took that from the General Assembly just to tell you guys how amazing it is, because you travel with them wherever they're going, and they pay for your trip. So that's also really great. And I took this to show you some of the places they will visit this year. Just so you know, they are basically Europe, mostly Europe, Barcelona, Vienna, and many. But in 2027, they're going to go to Bangkok. They're going to go to Sao Paulo, so in case you want to go to Brazil, that was an amazing opportunity. And they want to go to Cairo. So they're accrediting more universities outside Europe, and you get to go. And I have to mention this, that Omer is going to Bangkok as a student for the visitation, so you can reach out to him and ask him for he was trying so hard, and we really appreciate his engagement, but they want students that are not Turkish. So they want students from other nationalities. So please apply. It's amazing. It's all paid and a great opportunity. And they will continue adding more places for visitations. And yeah, how to apply here, you can take pictures. Otherwise, it's in their website. But I will go directly. For questions, just email the office or me. my email, my WhatsApp, or just approach me. I'm here to answer any questions. I work with them for this whole year, so I can help you with at least a contact information. So just approach me or email the office. They're really nice and they were really happy if you say, I'm Swedish, I'm British, I want to be a student in the student visitations. They will be really happy. Those are requirements that you have to send, but I'm pretty sure if Omar could do it, anyone could do it. In a good sense, because we had also one of the nominees that is running for she's from Italy. We had also Dana from Turkey, who is doing, or I think she did her second visitation. And yeah, but they're really enthusiastic and everything. So if that are very engaged members, they could do it, you can do it. Just continue. And if you're not in your pre-final or final year, just wait. And once you're there, apply. This is an amazing opportunity. I just want to take some time to talk about that. And this is me with Petra in president. That took a picture the last day. And I promised her that I will continue promoting this so we have more students and we show that we really have this 25,000 community of these veterinary students. So yeah, please apply. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you for that update on the EVE event. Do we have questions? Omer. Susan also has a question.
I also want to make a little comment about the student visitors. You don't have to be of the last year of your university, of your studies. You can also be a new graduate as well for you to be apply as a student visitor. So if you already graduated or almost graduating, you still have the chance to become one of the visitors. And even though I haven't attended one of the visitations yet, like Tammy said, I have a friend who did it for 2 times, and it's a great opportunity. It's okay, of course. So that there's that too. And you also you are having the chance to see a completely different university with really in-depth perspective from the students, from the professor's side, and it makes you question your own university in a good way or in a bad way to improve our universities, our schools, so that we can have we and the other people that will come after us have a better future. Thank you.
Thank you for that comment. Do we have any questions?
Giulia Ricorda, IVSA Italy, meeting number 46. I just want to make a comment because I just had my visitation in November and I was one of the students that was involved into the EIV, and we are still friends with the student that did our visitation. So it's a great opportunity. Of course, at start he has to be serious because he's gonna judge my university. But after we finished everything, all the mandatory things, we actually got in touch. We had fun together. So other than being a big responsibility and big opportunity, you also make friends that are gonna last for a long time. So I'm still in touch with him. So yeah, I suggest it to you. And I know Maria Carlotta that is going. So yeah.
Turkey.
Yeah, to Turkey. Yes.
Okay, thank you. The next question is from Susan.
Susan again, I will say Nepal meeting number 92. I have a small comment and also maybe suggestion for upcoming executive board members. Given that IVSA organizations is growing and we have a lot of partners and sponsors upcoming, and most of the partners that we have in the board are related to European regions, and we are having burden for trans is previous explained that there is also budget constraint in our budget. So is IVSA or is IVSA officials of these terms or the future terms are thinking about moving our partners and sponsors into different, moving our partners in different categories so that we won't have an
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I will have to call this out of order because the discussion point is EVE GA. So if it's not related to that, we can discuss it in AOB. Yeah. Do we have any other questions?
Hello, Gabriel Springer, IVSA UK, bidding number 80. Just also wanted to second the comments on the e-visitation team. And I've gone through the application process and accepted, so you have to wait, and then you'll be sent to a school. But the RVC had their accreditation visit, and Sam and student came, and they were lovely. So definitely recommend it to everyone.
All right, thank you. Do we have any other questions regarding the EVE event? All right, seeing none, thank you very much once again. All right, and the next point on the agenda is FEEG, which is also coming.
Exhibit number 3 in the last one, I promise. So now I'll show you what I did, not a lot, but in every General Assembly. I was there attending, but I was not alone. I was with Irini, our Europe representative, because of course it's European focus and we needed the European perspective, and Malaika, I will pronounce your last name, I'm sorry, our RV's representative in the every board. So the event happened in Rovaniemi, Finland. We joined their GA and also panel discussion, and it happened all from the 11th till the 13th of June. So I put here some pictures. And the first day we had the every GA and the UVP GA. You know already what is every because yesterday we had the presentation. UVP is European, the European for veterinary practitioners. So practitioners, and every is for veterinary education research. This is me with everyone in every. I gave a presentation about IVSA updates and activities, and this is Irini in the UAVP meeting, because we divided ourselves between everyone together. And the next day we had the MBGA. I was there saying some greetings from IVSA to FBE, so that's me. And then the next day we had a panel discussion, which was an interactive session on career choices. So a long time ago, the Europe team with FBE also with the LANCO, they made a survey on what are the preferences of the students and their career choices, basically. So that was the time to present the results, and then there was a discussion on how we can help people and associations, blah, blah, with their career choices. So that was that's me actually presenting the results of the survey. And then we had the panel discussion with, of course, the president, people from FBE, discussing how associations, governments, universities can support students and recent graduates as well. Then I have some pictures. Again, this is me with Petra, if president, and this is very special because in this event we sat together and we said, okay, what we want for the pilot project of if committees. So that was the event where we basically agreed on everything. And I want to show you this because that's Malaika, that's Irini, but this is Saga, IVSA Finland president. They invited Saga, and I'm really happy that they are also inviting our local IVSA. Saga was very enthusiastic and very happy to be there, and we were very happy to meet her and have our Finnish IVSA friend with us. And thank you.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful update on the FEGA. Do we have any questions? Peter.
Peter Nichols, IVSA Department Group number 14. For the next year's FEGA, do we know if there's a similar idea to invite whichever host countries represented from the IVSA?
Laika?
Because they're in IVSA Germany, they're number 63. To the previous speaker, yes, they will.
Malaika here. You're just what? You're just me.
Okay, sorry. I am not here. You're not here. Okay, you're never then. So yes, the idea is that at every GA there's going to be an IVSA representative. It was the idea from the Avery board, because we do represent the educational part, and it's not just me as a representative, but also always a person in the country. So next one we're going to be in Brussels, so we want to invite one of the IVSA people from Belgium, which will be difficult because they don't have Belgium itself, but 2 universities. And then afterwards it's going to be in Germany, so that will be a lot easier. But the idea is to have this continuously going because it was very successful.
All right, thank you for that clarification. So Belgium and Germany, keep a lookout for FE. Do we have any other questions? Irini?
Nepal year IVSA is number 21. It's more like a comment, Chair, that this is a proof of how our efforts are getting rewarded, because this idea was mentioned from every in Cyprus, and we didn't have a representative there, but they needed after the General Assembly in Finland. The local association invited Saga, so it proves that a decision that we made, a suggestion that was made in November, had been integrated in implementation in June. So we're really happy for that, and we can wait for it to continue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that comment. Yes, Tammy.
I'm going to say expert number 3. I also forgot to come, but wanted to mention that, as mentioned yesterday by Board, Vice President of Every will be renewing his position next year in June. So it's time for her to leave her position to another enthusiastic IVSA member. So in case you're interested, you have concerns, just reach out to Malaika. Or you reach out to me, but Malaika is here, so reach out to her, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to find her successor in many applications. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. Do we have any other questions? Yes, George.
Hello, Jessica Tofil, IVSA Czech Republic with the number 34. Thank you for this presentation. Given that this partner was present during the European Symposium, Regional Symposium in Latvia, when a concerning situation or announcement happened in front of them. So I would like to ask you if it had some impact on the partnership itself, or what consequences were taken by the IVSA Global?
I will interrupt the speaker. Again, you're out of order, because right now we're discussing Tammy's attendance at the FPGA. So if an extra topic that is not concerning this has to be brought up, it has to be brought up to the GA either in any other business, or the GA can decide. Give me 1 second. The GA can choose to add another agenda point that is as part of the procedures, but please be careful of what topics that you bring up. We've had it happen twice in the same GA, so just be mindful of that. Yeah. Do we have any other comments? Yes, George?
So, Jiří Gatokil, IVSA Czech Republic, bid number 34. I would like to add point of agenda, since it concerns the sponsorship with them, to point of agenda actually.
Okay. Okay, I think we have a parliamentary clarification on hand. Yeah.
Alumni meeting number 4. So, because we have the proposed agenda that is already ongoing, and the question why I understand where it's coming is important to get a clarification. It has to be pulled as a separate agenda point. In that case, the GA has to decide if they would like to discuss this point and add it as an agenda point, or if not. And that's how the chair is now going to call a raising card vote. But it's, you can. The agenda can be amended by 2/3, and that's up to the GA to decide. Just bring the options.
The chair will entertain a 5-minute motion to go into a 5-minute standard ease so that we can clarify what to do in this situation, and then we move forward. Prashana.
President Nepal, IVSA Nepal, meeting number 53, I'm so moved.
The motion of the first to go into a 5-minute standard ease so that parliamentary details can be figured out before we move forward. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Seeing none, we are in the 5-minute standard ease, and we will be right back once we figure this out.
ethical seafood research, which is open for collaboration and encourage students research and evidence-based approach to improve ethical fish farming. So yeah, okay. So we have the other events. We have Thailand from October 8th to October 11th, Madrid from October 31st to November 1st, and next year, which is April, May 2027 in Mexico City. So please kindly follow AVA on Instagram and LinkedIn at AVA International. You can apply for this. It's kind of discounted for students, and you can also apply for travel grants and accommodation grants as well. So yeah, thank you.
Do we have any questions regarding the attendance of at AVA Ghana? Jasmine.
Jasmine Ormina Peterson, IVSA student, bidding number 89. I just wanted to take a picture of the second last slide, and my phone stopped working right before you like it got changed. So can I just do that? Next. Yeah, the events. Thank you.
Yeah, you can follow them on Instagram. You will see all of this. And please kindly take advantage of the student opportunities, because I think the regular price was about $200, and for students it was about $60 to attend. So that's for registration, but as I stated, you can apply for travel grants as well as accommodation grants.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other questions? See, Ika.
Ika Desai, IVSA India, bidding number 13. My question is, did IVSA pay for this attendance or did it simply fund it?
I'm very sorry. Could the previous speaker please repeat the question? The chair was trying to fix text.
Ika Desai, IVSA India, bidding number 13. I wanted to ask if IVSA paid for the attendance of this delegate or did the delegate pay on his own to attend the event?
Okay, Ivy, yeah, our treasurer will answer that question.
So I am IVSA Exco, bidding number 9. So if didn't pay for his registration. Sorry about that. His registration fee, I believe it was we did not pay as IVSA, and his accommodation and the bus trip to the venue was paid by IVSA.
Thank you for that clarification, treasurer. Do we have any other questions or comments? Seeing none, thank you very much, Alberta, for presenting on behalf of IVSA. Thank you. Carlos.
IVSA alumni meeting number 5. I move to untable agenda point 47, regarding the final fee of the one symposium.
All right, the motion on the floor is to untable Rwanda Symposium. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Seeing none, the motion passes and the agenda point is untabled. So, as a reminder, we have the presentation of Rwanda. We showed you the itinerary and the budget, and we discussed about it, but we also realized that delegates need time to go through the budget, the itinerary again, form thoughts regarding what has been presented, which is why we tabled it at the previous GM, and we are bringing it up, we are untabling it now to continue discussing it. So, is there any discussion on the Rwanda Symposium itinerary and budget? Correct?
Navada, I was agenda number 7. I have a question regarding the budget on income. There is listed that we have a local sponsors fee that has in total 4 sponsors. Can we have more information on that? Like, are that secured sponsors? What is it about?
Right. Yeah.
Rajpura, IVSA Expo, bidding number 72. Okay, so about the sponsors, the four of them are confirmed, but they haven't signed anything yet because unless and until the event has been approved by the GA, the final fee, they cannot sign anything any of these because it's not officially approved by the GA.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Are there any more questions? Mohammed? Mr. Naveen, you cannot sit down.
Mohammed Uttamad, IVSA Pakistan, grade number 10. I wanted to ask, can I ask a question about the engineering?
Yes, you can.
So I was having a view on this, so there was only one committee network session. So is it parallel sessions or?
Violet?
It was IVSA bidding number 18, sorry for that. So yeah, I guess President-elect was involved in reviewing this, and I also noticed about the Committees and Networks workshop. I asked for clarification. Basically, this text doc will contain all of the parallel sessions, how they see it. But I once again want to reiterate that like, if changes happen, we will have to discuss it further.
Are there any more questions or comments? Ryan?
Ranskola, IVSA Expo, bidding number 72. Okay, so to address the previous speaker, currently, according to how we work with symposiums and congresses, the GA hours in a symposium are supposed to be around 20 hours. This is an approximation. It really depends on what kind of finance and whatever goes on in the event. Currently, for this one, when we discussed is at 29 hours. So we still have like a 9-hour extra GA time. So in terms of itinerary right now, some things can be changed. But again, it will be very much subject to what kind of bylaw amendments, what things need to be voted on and all of that.
Okay, thank you. Just to clarify to the GA again, we are discussing the presentation, we are discussing the itinerary, the budget, and what we will be moving to is approving the final fee of the event. Until then, if we are making changes to the itinerary, giving suggestions, all of that does not really need to be officially approved by the GA. These can be communicated to the current MOD as well as the next MOD, and they will work on it further. However, once we approve the final fee, for example, if it's approved at 400 euros, the event cannot go above 400 euros per day. Yeah, without CF tax. I'm just giving an example though. Is that once the final fee is approved, the event cannot go more expensive in terms of the delegate fee beyond that. So, for example, if Ryan pointed out that we have 9 extra hours and we choose to do committees and network workshops or extra activities, the finances will have to be, for the extra stuff, will have to be managed within the delegate fee that has been approved. I hope that clarifies things. Is there any other discussion? Peter?
There might be number 14. If you move to the budget part, one of the latter slides showing delegates and specified ones. I believe it's the one you just asked. No, to that. I just want to address whether or not we really think it's necessary for delegates back. While we all love Earth, we love IVSA stuff, I do believe there is something to say about the necessity of this and whether or not the Rwanda OC has, I think, done enough in attempting to lower the budget cost, especially considering the location.
Okay, thank you for that comment, Ryan.
Ranskola, IVSA Expo, bidding number 72. So about that, yes, that was something that has been communicated with them, but also I would like to point out the total just amounts of 240 euros. So I don't even know if that would reduce the delegates fee by even a euro or so.
Is there any other comments? Do you have a direct comment? Yeah, Peter.
Committee number 14. While I do recognize that the monetary value of the thing specified is not very great, it is more, for me, I perceive it more as an issue in terms of have they actually done enough in their attempts to reduce this final fee. I think the final fee is very high for Rwanda, and I think that it is more of a, how do you say, it's like a symbol of the for me, that would be one of the first things I said, like, I know this was also an issue for Taiwan last year, where it was also addressed that we can start by cutting everything down, and then we see, okay, where do we end up, and then we start adding on back again if we feel the need for it. But I do think, given that we're students and that it's already really expensive to attend these events, especially in countries that are not as well connected flight-wise, it's also going to be expensive. So I think all we can should be done.
Yes, thank you for that point, Peter. Just to clarify, what Peter meant is that if we cut out certain things from the budget, it automatically reduces the final fee. So the first suggestion that was given was removing the delegates bag that costs €3 per piece, which would effectively get the fee down to €381. Now it may not be significant in terms of, oh, it's just €3, but it's also significant in the fact that we are trying to reduce the fee further because you do lose a lot of money when it comes to currency conversion as well. So technically every cent matters. Is there any discussion regarding the itinerary and the budget? Ashley.
Ashley Harris, IVSA Australia, living number 83. I have a point of information. What would happen if we didn't get the lowest number of required participants to attend the event? And what is that number? And does that come to the fee?
Ryan?
That's for IVSA scoping number 72. So currently the lowest number of participants we have worked with is 70 participants. And again, if we cannot reach 70 participants, their budget will be in negative. So currently, if I'm not wrong, they are in a positive around €10. I'm not really sure, but somewhere around there. If in case they will not reach that amount, the OC practically has to pay out of their own pockets, which will not be possible again because we are a student organization and it's difficult to get so much funds out of your own pocket. So unfortunately, at that point, if it's not reaching a minimum requirement, we will move to an SGA, which again would be decided by the next expo how we move forward.
Is there any more comments? Corina?
Donavana, I was a junior building number 7. I want to ask to the previous speakers comment that it was for 70 people because as I read it, it was for 80 people, and when we go lower than 80, I think it's not doable anymore. Is that correct?
Ryan?
That's good. I guess it's for building number 72. So I did talk to them and we decided to make the lowest one 70. However, after talking to the Rwanda House, they were the ones who wanted to present the fee for 80 delegates.
Okay, just to clarify before we take more comments, is that when NOC is preparing for the event, we prepare with a minimum and a maximum amount of delegates they can accommodate. For example, for this event, I believe the number was 150. Shuza, was 150?
140.
Yeah, so the OC plans how many they can accommodate or how little they can accommodate. And a budget is made for all of those numbers. What the OC decides to present is completely on them. OC could have very well decided to present the 150 or 160 delegate budget as well as just the minimum 70 people budget. Now, how much of a profit or a loss there exists when presenting these budgets is also taken into consideration. For example, if you are breaking even on the 80 delegate presentation, people, the OCs prefer presenting that. If your 70 delegate budget, for example, is in a negative of €100, which is fine in terms of unexpected expenses, etc., they can choose to not present it because it also does look bad that their ending fee is in loss. I hope that clarifies the matter. Do you have a direct comment? Okay, right. Yeah, go.
That's good. I guess it's for building number 72. So yeah, currently to just give information to people who are confused, even the 70 delegate budget is in a profit of around €113. However, after meeting with the OC, they did request that they would like to present the 80 delegate budget.
Okay, do we have any other questions or discussion? Naveen?
Yeah, Naveen Joseph Vincent, IVSA Hungary, thing number 2. Feel free to stop me if this is not relevant to the discussion at hand, but considering that the last symposium had to be converted into an online SGA, does the OC of IVSA around symposium have any plans to deal with this or ensure that the same thing doesn't happen?
Okay, no, I'll answer them in follow. Okay, to answer Naveen's questions, the previous symposium was converted into an SGA in the first place because we did not have any hosts. Then we opened a call for hosts. We had a host selected. Unfortunately, we did not have enough participants that applied for the event, which is why it was converted into an SGA. So right now, when we are discussing the final fee, the OC still opens applications if the final fee is approved. If it's not approved, then we move to an SGA irrespective. If it is approved and we do announce applications, and it's also up to if we get applications for the event or not. For example, touch wood, there might be some other issues with flights again, maybe US decides something's wrong. But if the flights are not feasible for delegates again and delegates cannot make it there, they would be willing to pay the fee, but they're not willing to pay the flight travel, which is why we might have low applications. Now, if in case that happens, it is up to Rwanda OC and the next executive committee to take a decision on what needs to be done. The event could be shifted online, could be tried to make with a lesser amount of delegates, or could other solutions could be looked at. So that's how that works. I would believe Rwanda OC is not prepared a contingency plan in case the event does not happen. And that's what as it stands. So in case does something happen with the event, then the next executive committee and the OC will decide what needs to be done. And you want anything? Okay. Are there any more questions? Carol.
Caroline Schneider, IVSA Germany, event number 64. I have a question about the itinerary. The evening activities seem a bit short to me, like I think the casual evening is about 2 hours, 15 minutes or something, which I personally feel is a little time, especially since the dinner is quite long. And there's the silent option twice, it might be a typo, but we have silent option twice.
Could you point out which evening activities or which slides so that we can show here for people's reference?
I think most of the evening activities are pretty short. The cultural evening is about 2 hours, 15 minutes. One of them is like not even 3 hours, I think. So all of them seem pretty short to me. So I was wondering if there can be some changes.
Okay, Ryan.
IVSA for being number 72. So, like I've already mentioned, currently with this itinerary, we have 29 hours of GA planned, which again, based on that it's a symposium, they generally go on shorter and we require around 20 hours. Again, this is not a full thing, things can change. So accordingly, we can still make changes to the itinerary. However, like our main focus right now would always be the budget, so the itinerary can be changed after this budget has been approved. And depending on the suggestions of GA, we can give them the ideas and the comments of what has been discussed.
Okay, thank you. Just for GA's clarification again, we are discussing the itinerary. We are going to only approve the final fee. We are not approving the final itinerary because that will be done at the next Congress. We are approving the final fee. So there's always room for changes, room for editing things, taking out things, and that's what the discussion will go around. I saw hands up. So Star Wars, do you want to go first?
Okay. I think out of order for the sorry, wrong idea. Sorry.
Okay, do we have any other questions or comments? Susan.
Susan Agarwal, IVSA Nepal, meeting number 92. So, being an OC for this event, I know that as an OC, we always try to do things that would make guests feel appreciated. However, while setting a budget, I think like there are a few places in which we could reduce the fee. The first one I see is the coffee and GA snacks. Like when we have seen in Morocco as well, like we have experienced in past. If we want to reduce fee, we have an option to take out 720 from here. And from this event, we were also planning for the bag, but later on we decided that we'll keep that as a must. So bag and the event design can also be reduced, which can help us to lower total of 1383. And if we divide that by 18, so that is like minimum of 17.2K, so that the fee can go up to 367 euros.
Okay, Ryan has an answer to that.
I guess it's for billion or 72. So to answer the previous question, just because what I've been working on with the Rwanda OC, OEM is presented a little different to put together all the similar items. I just want to point this out that the Rwanda OC has made a package for the venue, which includes a GA hall, the sound systems, projectors, pens, notebooks, markers, and flip charts, 2 bottled mineral waters, 2 coffee mix, snacks and juices, and lunch plus soft drink. These things cannot be removed since they come in a package. So, like any 7 of these points, you cannot remove them because they are one package.
To summarize Ryan's points, is that DOC looked for a hotel that would offer all of these services as one big package. So there are certain things that we cannot remove by default, but they have been listed here separately for clarification purposes as to what costs what. Yeah, Ryan.
Ryan's Kara, I guess Expo team was in. Also, another comment to this is that the Expo and the hotel and the GA hall are going to be 2 separate locations. So yeah, again, just for people's clarification.
Yeah. Do we have any other comments or questions? Emily. Hands up, people, I don't see your hands.
I'm Nephilis, IVSA Germany, bidding number 48. I had a question about the transportation because it lists 2 buses. I'm just wondering, is that going to be enough for 80 people? Because I feel like that would carry additional cost that has not been into the budget.
Ryan?
Ryan's Kara, I guess it's 14 number 72. Actually, I'm unsure how much the capacity buses have. But again, for clarifications, we actually.
No issues. Just for GA's knowledge purposes, because we do not have any of the OC members present, there's only a certain amount of questions that MOD and the team can answer. The remaining questions will be sent out to the OC to get more clarification. Are there any more comments, Ashley?
Ashley Harris, IVSA Australia, being number 83. In regards to other unexpected costs and looking at the itinerary, if we were to extend the formal dinner longer, if it's a venue hire or if other events have a venue hire, and it's decided to extend the time period at that venue, that would also increase the cost of the venue hire that maybe hasn't been considered yet, and would that impact the delegates fee? Thank you.
To answer Ashley's question, right now the discussion is to move to approve the final fee. Once the GA approves it, the fee cannot go higher than 384 euros without CF tax. It will be slightly more considering the CF tax amount. I think it's 470. Yeah, I think it's 470. But that is the ceiling that the General Assembly sets for the event. So if there is some budgetary issues, it's up to the OC to figure it out. However, we do have the option of lowering the fee. So once the final fee is approved, and the OC says, oh no, we figured out we can get it corrected, we have a lesser fee now. And the OC says, okay, we have a 370 euro fee. That they're allowed to do. But if they go, okay, we don't have money, we need to make it 400, that they cannot do because we are approving the final fee. Felix.
Felix Metzger, IVSA Germany, bidding number 69. I would like to know how often did it happen in the past that the fee was lowered after approval of the maximum fee?
To answer Felix's questions, in the knowledge of the last 8 years that I have of IVSA, it has never happened.
After maximum fee?
What?
We lower.
Susan, we are presenting final fee and it was not lowered for Nepal either. Are there any other questions or comments for Mayor?
I'm Parakar, IVSA bidding number 31. I have some concerns regarding the fee and the overall cost to the delegates. I think the fee is right now quite high, and especially when we consider the other cost of attending this event. It can be the vaccines, it can be the flights, it can be the visas, and I have a concern that the event is not going to be able to happen. And I don't want IVSA Global to have again one more time last minute SGA, and that really that was really hard for us physically and emotionally, mentally. I don't want this to happen again. Thank you.
To give a direct comment to Omer also, is that there are certain things we can control, certain things we cannot control. So even if we do approve the event and everything goes smoothly, there will always be last minute issues like the flight thing that I pointed out previously. So that stress will always exist. The event, until it closes completely, the stress never ends for officials. So you have to be careful and mindful of the fact as well. Again, the official's job is to support the OC in their entirety, to make sure that they can do their job well, and that OC and officials together can have a good event for the delegates traveling so far, taking days off, wanting to experience a new country. So that's what the aim is here, is that we are able to give our delegates the best event possible. Ryan?
Thanks for IVSA Expo putting numbers on you. So to reply to the previous speaker, we cannot predict quorum. That is something we don't know. Again, this is not just about Vermont, right? It could be it's multiple factors, exams, flights, global situations. It could be for any event that we don't need quorum, and then that's an issue. So that is just speculations that we have right now, and yeah, we cannot comment. Also, to stress on a little further, in case we do end up having, the required amount of delegates to have this event, but no quorum, then that's something like a hybrid event, and that is not something that we discuss. It's something that next year will discuss.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Do we have any more comments or questions? Yeah.
Equality India, bill number 13, I would like to make a motion to go into a 5-minute strategies.
Okay. Yeah.
So my buddies would like to discuss and
Okay. So my question is, do you want to do a 10-minute strategies instead? Because 5 will be very short. Yeah.
Equality India, bill number 13, I would like to make a motion to go into a 10-minute strategies.
The motion on the floor is to go into a 10-minute standard use to explain to buddies, clarify things, and talk about what can be done, cannot be done, so on and so forth. Do we have any discussion? Any objection? Seeing none, we are in standard ease. We can discuss things. the agenda point until a later date, but in this event, after which we move to approve the final fee again. And at that point in time, if it's approved, the event happens. If it does not approve, the event does not happen and is converted into an SGA. So I hope the options right now are clear. I see questions. Peter.
The next person is delegate number 14. I believe I heard the chair say that it's converted into an SGA.
Yes.
Yes. Is it not converted into OSGA or no? Okay.
To answer Peter's questions, it is going to convert it into a special general assembly. However, the mode of the special general assembly will be decided by next year's expo. So the one that will be electing at this event, it's up to them to decide how they want to move forward with the event. They could very well have the SGA happen again in Rwanda with a better budget or an idea or whatever concerns are raised. They could move it online. They could find a completely different host country. That would be up to the next executive committee. It's just that it would be labeled a special online, special general assembly. That's it. No online. All right. Questions and discussions. Albert.
Albert Afan, IVSA Ghana, building number 28. And point of information, I guess, can the chair kindly repeat our options? Thank you.
Based on the discussion of the GA, there's 3 options that we have right now. The first one would be to continue discussing it, taking in questions and comments from the delegates, sending them to the OC, and hoping that we get answers back from them in the next couple of days while we have tabled the agenda point. That is one option. Second option is to move to a vote. And based on the results of the vote, if the vote is in favor of it, the event continues. If it's against it, the GA does not approve the final fee, the event stands cancelled and is converted into a special general assembly. However, the mode of the special general assembly will be decided by the next executive committee of IVSA. Is there any discussion? Ankit.
Ankit Patil, IVSA India, building number 33. I'm the IVSA India Exchange Officer and I'm speaking on behalf of IVSA India. We had an exchange with IVSA Rwanda in February where about 10 from India attended and we had some huge issues with IVSA Rwanda during this online exchange. For starters, and I say with the proof of screenshot the chat in Google Meet, they passed really discriminatory comments against Indians, which if required, I can show the proof to the GA. They hinted around how they need Indian ladies and gents, how they could set someone up with certain people from India, something about cat meat as well. All of this is extremely concerning in terms of safety of attendance in Rwanda. As an Indian, if our delegation does go there, I would be wary of such remark and even actions. Some of the people who made these comments are key members of the OC, which is a special concern. And there was also the small issue of them circulating the exchange via the stories, despite repeated requests to not do so, which led to several people joining and leaving the meeting against our wishes and leading to privacy issues. How can we make sure that this is not done in offline event in Rwanda? I just wanted to bring this to the attention of Chief.
Okay, I will have to refer this to the MMD. Either you answer it or we send this to Rwanda and they give us an answer back. Do officials have any other opinions on this statement for now? Felix.
Felix Metzger, IVSA Germany, number 69. In terms of measurements at the event itself that can be done, one thing that we have also here, like marked with pink ribbons, is the COC Corpino. Those members are always at the event aware and also prepared in order to make sure that if such situations happen, they are directly addressed and dealt with. However, I completely agree that this is something that should be talked about with the OC, and a potential removal of the person from the OC should be considered as a sign of action in order to be prepared for the event and to secure safety for all delegates.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a direct comment? Okay, Peter.
Peter Nicholas, I was the marketing number 14. I believe in the importance of our delegates being safe regardless of nationality, ethnicity, and any other discriminating factor. I do also believe that this should be strongly addressed to the organizing committee. I want to Sorry, the second one, your mind is white. Absolutely not. I will return, sorry.
Circle back to Peter, yes, 13.
Tina, so obviously China bidding number 5. As the regional representative of the Asian Pacific region, we never formally received any complaints regarding this issue due to the delegates feeling afraid to speak up due to such a large scale of the discriminatory comments and unsafe nature of this incident. And I feel that it would be significant if perhaps this issue was brought up formally to, I would say, global and addressed formally. And in regards to that, we could then take measures to decide how OC should be dealt with in that sense. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that comment. Peter, is your time back?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry for that. No, what I wanted to address was that we have previously had, I wouldn't say issues, but instances where cultural differences, of course, where we this many different cultures, stuff will arise, we have to address it, but that is not an excuse to not address as much as we can in advance. It would be a huge letdown from IVSA and official side if this is not handled appropriately in advance and not addressed to the correct people.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any more discussion? Meena.
Meera Valkar, is India bidding number 7. Although the COC is a good initiative, I just wanted to point out that it is a huge safety concern for Indians and I'm assuming other nations as well. And also, if I could mention the OC member who made these comments was the president of the COC.
Mr. Pan. Okay, so several issues have been brought up, guys. Several issues have been brought up regarding this. I believe there might be a solution that we can look at, but it's good that all of this has been brought to the knowledge of the General Assembly. I believe, as some speakers have pointed out, a formal complaint should be made. If not, at least directly speak to the OC regarding these concerns. And we continue this discussion for now, as it stands. And I would advise, no, so we continue the discussion for now, and I could entertain a motion to table this discussion for now, while we send comments and questions to the OC for them to reply back, and we continue discussing this at a later date. However, we still do have GA time, so we can continue discussing it right now, depending on how this goes. We can, a motion to table can be entertained. Yes, Ishan.
I saw the hand.
Okay, Ishajana is the next code within number 11. This is just a point of information. You gave the option of tabling this discussion and or discussing further now. In the event that we discuss it further now, would we vote on it now, or when is the vote scheduled?
That would be up to the GA to decide, because right now the motion was already made when we initially did the presentation, which is why we have no discussion. So the motion on the floor is still to approve the final fee. That is still the motion. So once discussion ends, and when I ask any objections, at that time it would either be a unanimous agreement or a vote. So that it's up to the GA to decide when they want to vote on. Peter.
This is nice. Number 14. I just want to add to what the chair said, because I think it's very specifically said that if we do continue to discuss it, doesn't mean that we can't table at a later stage. But the second the chair has said, is there any objection? It means that we either have to vote on it or unanimously agree. So just that's clear to everyone.
Yes. Any more discussion regarding anything?
Is just point of information about leaving the GA hall without point of privilege, is it allowed? Because I've noticed some like delegates leaving the GA hall without point of privilege, so I just wanted to make sure with you, Chair.
As parliamentarian, I want to clarify that.
So meeting number 4. So at the meeting before this GA, I suggested that we don't use the point of privilege to exit the hall every time somebody wants to go to the toilet, and suggested that the bodies are now the responsible, not adults, but the more responsible ones to keep track of who's coming and who's leaving, and to keep also track of time. So we wouldn't have unfortunate events and jokes as we had in other previous basically.
So in addition to that, ideally a point of privilege is the best way to do it, but if it's a bathroom emergency and you cannot hold it in, it is unfortunately. But yes, is there any more discussion? Omer?
IVSA 30, number 31. Since we have visual proofs of what happened, and I think after it is been shared with the GA, we don't need to hear back from the OC because the things are pretty much clear. It is my personal opinion. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Omer. Just to clarify, because as rightly pointed out previously, there has still not been a formal complaint made. We cannot do anything about it. But also we still need to hear back from the OC side as to what that was, because we always look at both sides of the coin. So, is there any discussion regarding the Rwanda symposium? Ashley.
Ashley Harris, IVSA Australia, building up at 83. I would like some more clarification on if this was voted against the budget and there was an SGM and it was happened to be held in person. What would that mean for the itinerary and budget and delegates attending that event?
All right, I get to explain what an SGA is. Nice. Okay, so if the event is not approved and we move to an SGA, the purpose of the SGA is to have the mandatory General Assembly hours. Now, by previous precedents, we've had a unique deal where even in an SGA, we've managed to do all the social activities, all the cultural events, city tour, everything. However, the rule behind the SGA is that you need to complete your mandatory GA hours and that's it. So if this is not approved, it is up to the next executive committee to decide what form of SGA they want. If they decide, okay, we would like a live one, then a host call is opened, a host is chosen. They could also go forward with having Rwanda host the SGA because they already have a budget and an itinerary. But it could be a shorter event or it could be a longer event up to the OC and the expo at that point. It could also very well be just 3 days of event where we do GA the entire time and get it done. Because that would be the point of the SGA, to get the discussions of the GA done. It could also be up to the executive committee to do it online, do it in a hybrid format, which we haven't yet, but it could be moving online. So those would be the options if this is not approved. But that the GA cannot dictate right now because it's up to the next term executive committee to decide on how this will be changed. We do have the option for a GA resolution, but then that puts pressure on the executive committee, so I would rather not do that. But yeah, that is that. In terms of the GA resolution point, however, the GA can possibly decide that for sure we will do an online SGA or a offline event. But again, and I think our parliamentarian will agree, is that we leave it up to the next executive committee instead.
Number 14. I would like for the chair to clarify to our delegates, especially about how this potential thing for by the previous speaker would affect the timeline of such an event and how that might impact the event.
In terms of timeline of the event, because our bylaws state that an SGA can be organized in the same time frame as a normal symposium or congress, it would be up to the executive committee to decide if they want to continue doing that. However, the SGA also allows preponing or postponing the event aside from the bylaw timeline. So it is up to the next committee to decide when and how they would like to conduct the symposium. The rule is that the special general assembly needs to take place. It's a question of when and where. Felix.
Felix Metzger, as a journal number 69. Given it was the word GA resolution was mentioned, would the chair mind explaining what a GA resolution is?
Okay. The GA. All right, for the clarification of the GA, what a GA resolution means is that it is the GA deciding to do a certain thing in a certain way. For example, when we did the SGA online in Greece, the GA resolved, which means the GA chose that the attending MOs online would get their voting rights at the next offline event on the first day of the GA, the next subsequent GA. So that is what the GA resolved to do, is that they choose a certain direction that the organization will move forward in, but it's not, and it is set in stone with the timelines and the guidance is given in the resolution. And I believe Star Wars wants to continue. All right, okay. Do we need clarification on the GA resolution part, or do we want to continue moving on with the itinerary and the budget? Peter.
Number 14. I would just like to strongly discourage a GA resolution listening to our esteemed trusts. There's a reason that we typically hand this over to the incoming EXCO, and that is because of efficiency measures. EXCO as AP will have greater opportunity to handle things within a shorter time frame. If GA decides to set this sort of limit for them, they are going to have to a very, very rough start to that term. So that was just my opinion. Thank you.
All right, is there any other discussion? Andy?
Whenever IVSA Czech Republic bidding number 12, I just would like to state another concern, which is like the overall safety in this country for like other MOs to visit. Not only like health risk, but also the criminality in this country and the conflict between like surrounding countries. So is it like safe for delegates to go there? How is this gonna be like? Determined by the OC to like have a safe visit.
Ryan, do you want to answer that? Okay, I think we will get to the response. Can you please restate your question so that MOD also knows?
And the other IVSA Czech Republic number 12, I was just wondering, like, because of this around overall, like, how is the safety in this country, not only like health problems or health risks, but also like the criminality in this country, and there are some conflicts with like surrounding countries. So how is it? Will it be possible, like, safe for delegates to go there and to like just enjoy safe symposium? And how is this gonna be held by the OC to ensure that everyone's gonna be safe? Thank you.
Okay, Ryan.
So about health concerns, I think you guys did see the slide about your health and like the vaccination. So that is, I think you guys have an idea now. I haven't gone much into detail about health, but you guys did see some vaccinations and some medications that you should be aware about, which you are. About criminal activity, that is something I cannot comment on because that is something that has not been, that I have not asked, but again, depending on what happens now, if the comments I receive, I will send them to the OC and then get an answer back from them and present what they told me. And the third point is regarding the situation going on in the world, again, I don't have much of an idea, but with the pinches of information I've given them is they are affected by the world situation going on right now in terms of the prices of stuff, but regarding safety regarding the situation, I do not have that much.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Is there any other discussion? Ashley?
Oh, wait,
We have anyone?
Karolina Nexerová.
IVSA Czech Republic, item number 26. I would just like to say that this is not really about the current world situation. This is a more Rwanda-specific situation, and there is an ongoing active war conflict with the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it is currently under considered zone 3, meaning considered traveling by the US Embassy, and also some of the regions around the borders are considered zone 4, meaning do not travel. So I think this is yeah, I just wanted to voice this concern. Thank you.
Yes. Do we have any other discussion? Pendula?
Upendra Chauhan, IVSA Nepal, reading number 19. To also comment on previous speaker, Nepal had the same issue with the Gen Z protest September of 2025, and everyone was assuming that it's not safe for delegate to attend Nepal Congress at all, and we made a delegate list starting from 140 to 60 as well, in case they were more concerned about this. But this doesn't directly impact because it's constantly changing, and we must not overlook the current situation regarding the fact it changes every time, like the political and the financial situations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any more discussion? Ika.
Ika Desai, IVSA India, bill number 13. When the previous speaker brought up the health issue concern, we were doing a little research, and India does not have an Ebola vaccine currently. Maybe I might be wrong, but the question is, if it's not even in the country, where do we procure it from? I don't know if it's the same for other countries, but yeah, that's a major concern.
I will ask RMODI to make a note of all these questions, and we send them to the OC, because there are certain questions even he cannot answer without OC members physically present here. So we will continue on the discussion for a little bit more while we continue noting down questions. And yeah, do we have any other discussion? Naveen?
Naveen Joseph Vincent, IVSA Hungary, bill number 2. Is it possible to have the OC on a live call so that they can answer questions regarding this later?
To answer Naveen's question, I'm not fully sure if the OC will be available, because we didn't expect them to be here, and I don't think they must have planned their day around that. So I would much rather go with the option of us communicating with them. Sorry. Do we have any more questions or comments? Ashley, you have a hand up? Ashley?
Ashley Harris, IVSA Australia, being number 83. I'd just like a bit more clarification of the GA resolution. Who is that? Just the GA is an SGA as well? Is it throughout? How do you call on the body? What? Yeah.
I did not fully understand your question.
I could. Would you be able to understand? Say again how the GA resolution works? Is it just like a bylaw amendment, or is it and how it works in practice?
Okay, so a GA resolution is drafted either by a delegate, by the officials, or by the GA in its entirety, presented to the GA, and it's a document that states why the GA wants to resolve what it's resolving. Like it explains what we expect to do, and is presented to the GA. The GA is allowed to make amendments to it until the GA is happy with the content of the resolution. I would advise you to come speak to either me or Stavros after GA, so we can give you a better example, because it would be out of order to present a GA resolution right now and show you what it works like. Do we have any other questions? Susan?
Susan Agal, IVSA Nepal, meeting number 92. May I ask MOD team if OC team members are willing to lower the fee, or like this is the final fee that they want to present?
Nancy Cohen, IVSA Scoping number 72. About the OC's willingness, like currently I have told them everything that I can remove. I have discussed with them about stuff that I can remove. I can give them more concerns by the GA because to the best of my abilities, what I could think of has been given. Points that have been raised up here, I will send them to the OC and try to get them before the next GA.
whenever it's unneeded.
Okay. Do we have any other discussion? Peter?
On the topic, Peter Nichols, IVSA rating number 14. On the topic of the willingness of the OC to lower the fee, has there been any concerns brought forth to the OC regarding this fee and given examples on what to lower that they have not lowered or removed from the budget?
Ryan?
Practical IVSA Expo rating number 72. Yes, there were some issues that I did face with the willingness to move some things, stuff that even I'm unsure about, but I guess there could just be difference in communication that I don't understand. One example, like I said, like I think one of the points like raised was about the coffee and like the bottles of water, which was like raised. But again, like I mentioned, since they are in the GA package, they could not have been removed. And yeah, there are some. I think for now, whatever I could have removed, I did remove. But yeah, there is some problems. But I think if I can try and talk to them and give them the reasons that have been stated here, again, it's the decision of the OC. But we have your reasons. It's up to them. It's their event.
Thank you. Do we have any other discussion, questions, or comments or suggestions? Okay, so our MOD has been noting down the questions and everything has been brought up so far. So the chair, yeah, do you have a comment or do you want to make the motion?
That was the motion.
Yeah. The chair will now entertain a motion to table this agenda point for a later date so that we can speak to the OC, get their answers about the concerns brought up, and see what can be done. Peter.
Peter Nichols, IVSA rating number 14. I so move.
Thank you. The motion on the floor is to table this agenda point again, unfortunately, to a later date. Do we have any discussion? Any objection? Seeing none, the agenda point is now tabled. All right, the chair will now adjourn. The chair will now entertain a motion to adjourn the GA for the day. Come on, give on your hands. It's the easiest thing. Yeah, hey.
Hello, this is Chan. I was report of Korea, picking number 47. I so move.
The motion on the floor is to adjourn the GA for the day. Do we have any discussion? Any objection? Seeing none, the motion passes. We adjourn at 4:54 p.m. Nepal time. Do we have any announcements from the officials or the OC before everyone runs out of here? The first announcement being, if you have any more questions, suggestions, comments, complaints, you please go to Ryan so that he can write it down and submit it to the OC. The deadline for this will be 10 p.m. tonight. So please go talk to him. We'll also give some time because we have live auction, maybe we'll give some more time, but tonight is your day to go talk to him and get your things out. All right, second announcement would be OC, no, second announcement would be DAD. It's Ignacio.
Hello guys, I wanted to tell you that we are collecting the donations, so please come to the DD team because we need to make all the things for the live auctions and it takes time, so please do it as soon as possible. And also the ones who pre-order some merch, also pick it up. And that's it. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for that. We will have announcements by the OC regarding the flow of events for the remaining of the day.
Hi guys, so now after 16:30 to 17 it was a rest time, so we are going to move again for the fun to do workshop. So after like 10 minutes of break, I'd like to request you to either join for cultural dance or over here for the yoga sessions. And if you want, like there is also a poetry sessions outside, so you can just go and see over there. And we'll have a live auction starting from 8. So please make sure that you are over here and don't forget to bring your card. And again, regarding the optional activities, so as I've already mentioned yesterday as well, if you really feel that you will be uncomfortable in this situation where you are located, so please reach out to OC. So you still have 1 to 2 hours left, and after that we won't be able to make any changes because we have to book everything in advance. And yeah, for tomorrow we have committees workshop from 8:15 to 10, and afterward we'll leave. So please be sure to be on time. For those who are going into other optional activities, the food will be provided. However, for the Sigapuri National Park, you have to carry your lunch on your own. So while leaving, please come to restaurant and collect the lunch from us.
What time is the yoga start?
According to plan, it should have started from 17, but we extended this time, so I'll give like 15 minutes of rest and be back over here.
And it's dancing upstairs.
Dancing is in 14th floor outside of the Dreams and Downloads Hall. If you have seen, like there is an open space behind it. Dancing will be over there, and the yoga session, since it required mattress and everything, also the sound system, so the yoga session will be inside this hall. Please make sure that you have cleared out the remaining balance with OC2. Thank you.
Alright, we have another announcement by Ishan.
Okay, sorry, your sponsor related announcement, we want more money for more events. So like I mentioned in my presentation, Bentley has some samples of a product from our sponsor Epolar. If any of you, their target consumers is Europeans. So if any European, but it's not limited to that. So if any of you work regularly in clinical practice, they would like our members to try their naturally made product called Alibar. It's a gel. Wendy can tell you more about it. Just reach out to Wendy and take a sample. We would just like you to give your review back to us in a couple months when you use it on a case, so that we can give it to our sponsor, because that is what they're requesting.
Alright, awesome. So final students, internship students, and people that go to clinics, good opportunity for you. Do we have any more announcements?
Reach out to Wendy.
Do we have any more announcements? Seeing none, everyone can go, come back for the workshops, and then at night we have live auction. So, yay! Susan, where's Susan? Has anyone seen Susan? Susan.
Very interesting. Yeah. Oh, India was just like, Mike, that killed the entire like, yeah. You know, just going. I love the reaction. Of course, fucking John. I thought it was one of the. I was just standing. But I think like it's important to be bold, but I am a little concerned with Australia's wish for